Good morning, class. How are you? Happy Friday to you all. I believe that today everybody is excited, even as I'm excited because I'm going to have a trip with my family for this weekend. So it's going to be interesting. We are visiting the um, Bible Museum in DC, so it's an exciting time for myself and my family. Yes, today we are still talking about the essay writing that we have discussed a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to look at the last one. But before we get into today's lesson, I just want you to tell me what are some of the essay topics we have discussed previously in our lessons. Okay, Daniel. Oh, excellent. That's great. Letter writing, wonderful. Mary. Great. That is imaginative essay, wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you. The last one among the four that we have discussed, the three that we have discussed, the third one is what? Application for employment. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah, so today we are looking at the last one. Does anybody remember the last one that I told you we'll be discussing in our next lesson? Yes. Christine. Argument. What did I say about argument at the time? That when we come back to class, we're going to start or continue from there. Great. I said arguments are always between two opposing sides. That's one person will be talking for the motion or for the topic of discussion, and the other also speaking against the motion or the topic. So today we want to look at a way to construct a very effective and appealing argument, so that those people listening to you, those people who are your audience, will be able to side with you and say, yes, we agree with this gentleman, or we agree with this group of people in the argument for the positive statement they have made. And there are four important things that you need to know in constructing argument essay. The first one is that you need to make a claim. You need to make a claim. That is making a statement of why you think this is right, or the points that you are bringing about to defend your position. And the next one is a counterclaim. A counterclaim is where you think that your opposing or your opponent is going to bring out a certain point to sort of defeat the point you are going to make, and therefore you use other kind of points that you'll be able to derive from what you have already stated in order to also defeat the opposing side's view or point of view. And the next is evidence. Whenever you make any claim, you have to provide an evidence to back your claim. And the other one is a reason. Why do you say what you are saying? Why do you claim what you are claiming? Why are you saying what you are saying? So you also have to get a good reason to support your claims, so that people can be able to make or side with you or agree with you on the path that you are taking. The other aspect I want us to look at, when you are making any kind of argument or writing this kind of essay, you need to use transitions to be able to get to where you want to get to, and to make a nice writing, that your writing will flow in a very good order. So there are two important aspects I want us to look at. And when you look at the board, you see these two areas that I have put on the board. The first one is the transitions used in constructing good arguments essay. First aspect is adding an idea. As you are writing or making the argument in oral form or writing it, you also want to add some ideas to your point that you are making. At times, the best way to do it is to say maybe the first thing I want to say, first, second, third, and etc. Can go 4, 5, or 6, depending on how many points you want to use in developing or advancing your argument. And the next, you can also use next. In addition, moreover, furthermore, besides, as well, also. So right now, I just want you to look at the next one to give an example. Okay, so I want 2 girls and 2 boys to tell me 2 things they see in giving an example in an argument essay. Yvette, for instance, great, good show. Samuel, to make an illustration as an illustration, good. Mavis, as a case in point, great. And the last one, in general, great. So these are the transitions that you want to, you can just take or use in advancing your argument to make a very good essay presentation or argument presentation. The next thing I want us to look at, be very careful, is a caution that when you are writing or using these transitions, you should be very careful so that you'll be able to make sense, making a very logical sense in using these transitions, where you're supposed to use them and when you're supposed to use them, so that your audience can understand what you are trying to put out. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Any question up to this point before I proceed? Is there any question? Great. Yes, Samuel. Okay. Samuel, what is your point? Okay, so most of the time, Samuel is asking why people make arguments. Who can help us with that question? Why do you think people make arguments? And I believe among yourselves, sometimes you make arguments. You make arguments sometimes. And where? Which areas do you think arguments are always seen? Which areas? Yeah, so making an argument is not a bad thing, but the way people make the argument will make it bad or bring some sort of confusion and distraction, or will destroy the peace in that area. Making a healthy argument is good. Why? Argument clears the opinions that people are having on an issue, so that they will be able to get the right things that they can use in their lives or within the dispensation. So, for instance, you go to the court and there's a decision or there's a case being adjudicated by a judge or juries. The counsels, that is the lawyers defending and also trying to make a case, bringing evidence against the person that has been convicted, they try to advance their argument in such a way that the judge will be able to understand them, and as they plead their case, the judge will give them a good judgment. So it's all about coming out with positive points, things that can be convincing enough so that people can back you. So based on this, where and which places or which people can you think of that they can make arguments in their lives, in social life, in general? What do you think? Okay. Nelson, yes. In the family, in the home. Yeah, so in the home, which group of people in the home can make argument? Which people in the home can make argument? Okay. Mom and dad can make argument. Great. Siblings can also make argument. Yes. Siblings can make argument. Yeah, your brother and your sister can make argument on certain issues in the home. Just to put things straight and to make things right, so that all of you will come to a point that, okay, this is the way to go, and this is the right thing to do it. A healthy argument. And for us, for academic purpose, we are going to look at few things that will help us to write good essay, and as an argumentative essay. As I did said earlier on, when you are writing the essay, let's look at the templates. You look at the template on the board, and you could see that the writer of this argument has made a clear introduction. He has given us areas that he wants us to understand so that we can back him. So he's giving us a claim. His claim is that working for people do not make you right or rich, but setting your own business helps make you richer than working for other people. That is the argument this writer is advancing. And his other opponents are also saying, yes, it's true, but other people can also be rich working for somebody else. Yes. So we look at some of the points that he brought out. So the first point he made was that working for people always make you, the person chooses to give you a rate of payment that he deserves or he likes, depending on, he looks at his profits or what he's going to make and decide how much he used to pay his employers. But looking at the CEO or the one that has been able to make his own set up his own business. After paying his taxes, paying his bills and all that, the rest of the money that he accrues from the job all belongs to him. That is the profit margin. He doesn't share with anybody. It's all for him. And he can use it for any investment that he wants to use. And that is why they are saying that working for somebody do not necessarily make you richer as compared to working for your own self or developing your own business. In your own business. Right. So at this point, I want you to take your worksheet, and as I put on the second template, I want you to write 2 points using the 4 parts of the argument essay to set up a framework for your own essay that you develop in the independent work. So you're going to work in the group. So as I put you 2 groups each, partner A, partner B, put yourself together, pick your worksheet, and then come out with 2 points using the 4 parts of the argument essay. Let's remind ourselves, what are the 4 parts? Making a claim. The second one, counterclaim. 2, evidence. 3, reason. And the 4th one is a counterclaim. So we have making a claim, providing evidence, giving a reason, and then making a counterclaim against your opponent so that you'll be able to defeat your opponent's point of view. Wonderful. Wonderful. So I give you 10 minutes. In the next 10 minutes, you all come out, and then I will inspect what you have been able to do. Lean on your friends' knowledge and strength so that we can all develop a very good essay or points. Okay, let me see. All right. Good job. Yeah. Great. Okay. Yes. Time up. Let's look at what we have been able to do. So exchange it. Every group 1, you give your work to group 2. Group 3, you give your work to group 4. And then group 4, you give your work to group 5. Wonderful. Let's look at what each group has been able to come out with. Okay, good job. So the first group was able to list the 4 parts of the argument, making an argument. And what did they try to argue about? They wanted to talk about having fun is good for your health. Having fun is good for your health. Wonderful. Wonderful. And the other group, second group, what did they talk about? You're also able to list all the 4 points, right? The four parts of the argument essay. Great. And what was your point of argument? What did they say? Oh, okay, that's great. They're saying that mothers are more lovely than fathers. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. What the next group says? And the next group also says that right, okay. So the next group, their point is that marriage is good than staying single. That's great, wonderful, good stuff. Yes, class, thank you for the good job you have done. We'll now transition into the independent work. So the last template that I'll put on the board, you're going to, Samuel, I want you to read. Okay. Using the 4 parts of argument essay, write 400 words argument on the topic living in the city is better than living in the countryside. Good. So this is your topic for the independent work. So you give us the various points to back up your claim. I only need 3 points. So 3 points for each of them. Then you make sure you use the transitions even as you advance your argument. Great. So finally, we are coming to the close of the lesson. What did you learn from today's lesson? Great. So we are going to continue our next English writing class on Monday when we all come back from the weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care. Be safe.